Growing up, people didn't always know what to do with me and my gifts and the gifts that I had. And I didn't always know where I fit or what to do with the gifts that I had. Um, and I think slowly growing up and growing in my faith and really growing closer to God and allowing Him to show me what He wants me to do with these gifts has been so freeing and so fulfilling. I was a little more outspoken. I was a little bit more bold. I started seeing women who I saw that same boldness in. I saw that same bold spirit and drive and fearlessness that I knew was such a core part of myself. And a lot of times they called themselves feminists. And so I started hearing this word feminist, and I think from an early age associating that as something I was, that I was a feminist. This idea of a feminist as somebody who was creating spaces for women outside of those boxes. I loved that, I connected with that idea. But I didn't see that as contradictory to my faith, because I think both my faith and my feminism were such core parts of who I was as a person. That I just knew that there was some connection there. Over the course of different classes that I took, I stumbled across some of Pope John Paul II's writings. In 1995, he wrote a letter to women where he acknowledges all of the suffering that women have experienced. He acknowledges that women have been treated poorly for being women. And that was really important to me. It was really significant to read that from, the leader of our church, that he wasn't afraid to acknowledge those differences and call out that that's wrong. He wrote about how women deserve to have access to jobs in places and spaces and situations that accommodate our motherhood and our biology. I think for a long time, feminists have seen women's ability to be mothers as something they're not sure how to deal with. Should we get rid of motherhood? Should we control it? What should we do with it? But the thing that I found in Catholic feminism that was different was that Catholic feminism held on to what it meant to be a woman and the sacredness of our biology, of our charisms. Catholic feminism held on to woman herself rather than just accommodating woman to a male-dominated world where men is the standard and women are, fitting the mold however they can. Catholic feminism fights to say women and the way that women naturally are matters, and it's good. I could see myself in the boldness of Catherine of Siena, in the strength of Edith Stein, in the fearlessness of Joan of Arc. I could see myself in these women who also believed deeply in the faith that I held so dearly and were able to find their place in the world and in the church in their own way. So while secular feminism affirmed my identity initially, it wasn't able to give me all the answers I was looking for in my life, the way that my faith has. And so being able to reconcile my feminism with my faith and find a Catholic feminism has been so important to me, to be able to find a place for myself in the world and in the church. Looking at the saints, they were all called forth at a time when the world and the church needed them in their uniqueness, in their unique gifts, in their unique strengths. Maybe that's my call too in the world and in the church, is to lean into these aspects of myself that made me different and that maybe I had felt self-conscious about. Maybe that is part of my mission. And so I've always known that I have these gifts to work, and I've tried to discern how to use those gifts well and bring those gifts, to my day job. So at my current company, I have helped start a parents initiative where we are bringing parenting into the conversation around diversity and inclusion and talking about the supports that parents and families need and how to create a more family-friendly environment at work. And it's been so empowering to me to see how my gifts as a leader and that boldness growing up that I had are things now that I can bring in these spaces to grow more good in the world and to build a better world for my kids, for my son and my daughter, if someday they want to be parents, for other people. Our ability and the vulnerability that it entails to create and carry new life into the world, that is a gift. And it's something that we have to fight for and to defend and to use our gifts well to support. St. Catherine of Siena says that if you are who you are called to be, you will set the world on fire. And that's what I'm trying to do.